Today, I want to speak with you about something deeply human, profoundly transformative, and universally needed: the power of emotional support in marriage. Marriage is often described as a partnership, a covenant, a lifelong promise. We talk about love, about vows, about building a life together. But one of the greatest cornerstones of any lasting marriage is not just attraction, not just compatibility, not even the romance that ignites it. It is emotional support, that invisible bond that nurtures, sustains, and heals two people as they walk through life together. The heart of marriage. Let me begin by saying this: marriage is not merely about sharing a house, a bed, or a bank account. It is about sharing a soul space, a safe haven where you can strip away the masks you wear for the world and simply be flawed, imperfect, vulnerable, and still loved. Every one of us longs for that kind of sanctuary. In a world that often asks us to perform, compete, and endure, marriage is meant to be the one place where you can collapse without fear, knowing that someone will catch you, not with judgment but with compassion. That is emotional support, and it is priceless. What emotional support truly means. When we hear support, we often think of financial support or physical presence. But emotional support goes deeper. It is the ability to listen without trying to fix, empathize instead of dismissing, encourage without pressuring, stand by someone's side when storms rage, even if you don't have an umbrella. Emotional support is when your partner whispers, "You are not alone," and you actually believe it, because they've shown up for you, again and again. It is the look that says, "I see you hurting, and I will sit in the dark with you until the dawn comes." It is the small gestures, the hand held under the table, the text that says, "I'm proud of you," the patient silence that allows tears to fall without needing explanation. In essence, emotional support is the language of love in action. Why emotional support is vital in marriage? Some might ask, why is emotional support so essential? Isn't love enough? Well, let me tell you, love is the seed, but emotional support is the water. Without it, love can wither under the harsh sun of life's trials. With it, love grows deeper roots, strong enough to endure droughts, storms, and winters. Consider this: life will test every marriage. Illness, financial strain, loss of loved ones, career setbacks, misunderstandings, the daily stress of raising children, these things come not as strangers but as inevitabilities. And when they arrive, the couple who only had romance may crumble, but the couple who have cultivated emotional support will find themselves holding hands tighter than ever. Emotional support creates resilience. It's the difference between facing a battle alone and fighting shoulder to shoulder with your closest ally. The power of presence. Let me share with you a story. A woman once said, "When I lost my job, I felt worthless. I cried on the couch, ashamed of failing. My husband didn't lecture me about applications or finances. He simply brought me a blanket, sat beside me, and said, 'We'll figure this out together.' That moment gave me more strength than 100 motivational speeches." That's the power of presence. Emotional support is not always about grand solutions, it is about being there, fully, completely, without distraction. Sometimes, the bravest, most loving thing you can do for your spouse is to sit in silence and hold their hand. The language of support. But how do we cultivate emotional support in marriage? Let me share a few essential practices. 1. Listen with your heart. Listening is not waiting for your turn to speak. It is leaning in, setting aside judgment, and truly hearing the words behind the words. When your partner says, "I'm tired," listen for the emotions beneath. Are they overwhelmed? Lonely? Feeling invisible? Real listening validates your partner's humanity. It tells them, your feelings matter. You matter. 2. Validate, don't minimize. We often fall into the trap of minimizing. "It's not that bad," or, "Others have it worse." While well-intentioned, these phrases dismiss pain. Validation is different. It says, "I see your struggle. I may not fully understand it, but it matters because it matters to you." Validation is healing. It turns isolation into connection. 3. Encourage without pressure. Support doesn't mean pushing your partner into action before they are ready. It means being their cheerleader while respecting their pace. Sometimes encouragement is saying, "I believe in you." Sometimes it's saying, "Rest. I've got your back." 4. Offer safe vulnerability. Emotional support is a two-way street. You can't expect your partner to open up if you never do. Show your fears, your uncertainties, your dreams. Vulnerability builds trust, and trust deepens intimacy. Emotional neglect, the silent killer of marriages. Just as support builds marriages, the lack of it can destroy them. Emotional neglect is often more damaging than conflict. Two people can live under the same roof, share meals, raise children, and still feel desperately alone. Why? Because one, or both, stop offering emotional presence. They become strangers occupying the same space. Research shows that emotional neglect is one of the leading causes of divorce. People don't always leave marriages because of betrayal or abuse. Sometimes, they leave because of loneliness, because they no longer feel seen, heard, or valued. So I urge you, don't let silence erode the foundation of your love. If you see your spouse reaching out, respond. If you sense distance, close the gap with compassion. Don't wait until the heart grows cold. Marriage is a refuge. Think of marriage as a home, not just of walls and furniture, but of emotional shelter. When the world criticizes, let marriage be the place of affirmation. When the world exhausts, let marriage be the place of renewal. When the world wounds, let marriage be the place of healing. Imagine the impact of two people who consistently lift each other. That marriage becomes a fortress, not a fortress that keeps others out, but one that keeps the couple strong enough to go out into the world and make it better. The ripple effect of emotional support. Here's the beautiful truth. When you offer emotional support to your spouse, it doesn't stay contained between the two of you. It ripples outward. Children raised in emotionally supportive homes grow up feeling secure, valued, and capable of supporting others. They learn that love is not conditional, that vulnerability is not weakness, and that compassion is strength. Communities filled with marriages rooted in emotional support are stronger, kinder, more resilient. And on a personal level, when your spouse feels supported, they carry that confidence into their work, friendships, and dreams. You become not just a partner but a multiplier of their strength. Stories of emotional support. Let me bring this home with two simple but powerful examples. Story 1. The Silent Hand. A man battling cancer described his wife's greatest gift during his chemotherapy. She didn't tell me to be positive. She didn't tell me to fight harder. She just held my hand through every treatment, through every night I couldn't sleep. I drew my courage from her quiet strength. That is emotional support, less about words, more about presence. Story 2. The Dream Keeper. A woman who dreamed of starting her own business once said, "When I doubted myself, my husband reminded me of my passion. When I was afraid, he reminded me of my resilience. He never made me feel foolish for dreaming. He became the keeper of my dream until I was brave enough to claim it." That is emotional support, believing in someone until they can believe in themselves. So how can we, in practical terms, cultivate emotional support in marriage? Here are 5 simple, profound practices. 1. Daily check-ins. Ask, "How are you really?" and mean it. 2. Practice gratitude. Say thank you for the little things. Appreciation fuels connection. 3. Share the load. Emotional support is also practical. Doing chores, helping with responsibilities, easing burdens. 4. Protect couple time. Even amidst busy lives, carve out moments just for each other. 5. Seek help together. If support feels hard, seek counseling or mentorship. Sometimes the bravest step is admitting you need guidance. As I close, I want to leave you with a challenge. Tonight, when you go home, look at your spouse, not just at their face, but into their heart. Ask yourself, have I been their safe place? Their encourager? Their emotional anchor? If the answer is yes, keep watering that garden. If the answer is no, don't despair. Every day is a new chance to rebuild, to choose compassion, to lean in. Because at the end of life, what matters most is not the size of the house you lived in, or the wealth you accumulated, or the titles you held. What matters is whether the person you vowed to love felt truly supported by you, whether they could say, "I was never alone, because they were with me." Final words. Marriage is not about avoiding storms, it is about learning to dance in the rain together. It is not about perfection, it is about presence. It is not about two flawless individuals, it is about two flawed people choosing, every day, to hold each other up. Emotional support is the heartbeat of marriage. Without it, love struggles to breathe. With it, love not only survives, it thrives, heals, and inspires. So let us commit today, not just to love in words, not just to loyalty and promise, but to emotional support in action. Let us be the safe haven for the one we married. Let us be the encourager, the comforter, the dream keeper, the quiet strength. For in the end, a marriage filled with emotional support is not just a partnership, it is a miracle, two souls carrying each other through life, hand in hand, heart to heart. Thank you.